It's hard to believe that it's been 5 years since the Nintendo Switch came out, but yet here we are. And so I thought it might be a good time to give my top 10 recommendations of games exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. If you could do me a favor and go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, that way you won't miss out on any of the content that we have coming out. Let's get to the list. Number 10, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart games are just really fun to play with your friends, and this one is no different. Though it is pretty much just an update of the version of Mario Kart that was on the Wii U, this game has gone on to become the highest selling game on the Nintendo Switch. Like all of the games in the series, this iteration has tons of fun characters you can choose from and ways for you to customize your kart so that you can drive the way you want to. The items are fun and random and are just cheap enough where it gives everybody the opportunity to still be involved in the race, even if you're not near the front. As a dad with some really young kids, I really appreciate the options that they have that make it easier for kids to play, such as the ability to set your car to always be driving forward and to have some course correction so you don't accidentally drive off the cliff all the time. So whether you're a veteran to the series or a newcomer, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a wonderful addition to your Switch game collection. Number 9, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. The Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite game series of all time, and I love the art style in this game. The fact that everything looks like a little toy gives this game a really unique feel. And because I had never experienced Link's Awakening before, I really enjoyed the opportunity to get into it here. It's nice that Nintendo still goes back every once in a while to give us a new game in the top-down Zelda format. And though there are some times where you can definitely feel the age of the original game, the story and world found in Link's Awakening are well worth your time. Number 8, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm not very good at fighting games. In fact, I'm pretty bad at them. I usually am just spamming uppercut or leg sweep. And so the fact that Super Smash Bros. As a series has allowed me to be able to kind of compete with people in my friend group has been a lot of fun. The controls that are simple to learn but hard to master are, in my opinion, the key to why these games are as successful as they are. It doesn't hurt that they have one of the best character rosters out of any game ever, or that the stages and music all draw from Nintendo's rich history. This game has options that make playing fun for people of all different skill levels, whether you're at the top tier, playing on Final Destination with no items, or putting the items on heavy so that you might hopefully grab a bomb and be able to blow somebody up and get a cheap kill. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has something for everyone. Number 7, Pokémon Legends Arceus. Pokémon Legends Arceus is the game I've put the least amount of time in on this list, but I have no problem saying that it is definitely one of my favorites of this Nintendo system. Finally, we have a Pokemon game that changes up the way that you do the main thing in the series, catching Pokemon, in making it so you are more active as a participant in battles and in catching Pokemon. The excitement level for me personally just went through the roof. Though the game does take a while to get going with an overly long tutorial, once you're set loose in that open world, it is hard to stop. And any game that has me saying just 5 more minutes for 2 hours is gotta go high on the list. I can definitely understand why some people criticize the graphics. They can be lacking in certain areas, but for me, that doesn't matter very much because the game is just flat out fun to play. If you played Pokemon before and kind of grew tired of the formula, I recommend this as a way to get back into it and really just have some fun in a familiar world. Number 6, Animal Crossing: New Horizons. I don't believe there has ever been a game that came out at the perfect time more than Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Right when we were all getting locked down because of COVID, here comes this game which allows us to design our own islands, go and visit our friends without the fear of contracting some new mysterious sickness. The fact that you share your island with the people on your Switch can be annoying for people who might want to really do everything in the game or get rich fast or maybe try to be really productive. But the fact that me and my kids were able to have this place where we were together and we had this new group of friends, which were all cute animals, was a wonderful way to kind of forget about everything that was going on in the world for just a few hours every day. And it wasn't just my kids, my wife got very into this game, and any video game that gets my wife interested in playing video games is going to be high on the list for me. Shout out to Hornsby, my all-time favorite villager, even though he's always hitting on my wife. I like you, dude, but I've got my eye on you. Number 5, Donkey Kong Country: Tropical Freeze. Now, this is another game that came out on the Wii U, but because that system underperformed, they put it out on the Switch as well, and I'm sure glad that they did. I didn't get a chance to go back and play this game on the Wii U, and so when I got a chance to play it on the Switch, I was blown away. I had heard people say that it was fun, the music was great, and that it was beautiful, and all of those things are completely true. It captures the feel of the Donkey Kong Country games from the Super Nintendo, but really modernizes them and gives you different options to make the games less frustrating if that's something that you want, but yet still delivers that challenge if it's something you're looking for. If you played a lot of platforming games back in the 90s and have been wanting to find something to scratch that itch and you have not played Tropical Freeze, I highly recommend it. You will not be disappointed. And if you're just looking for some good music to listen to while you're studying or working or cleaning the house or whatever it is, put on the soundtrack to this game. It is awesome. Number 4, Tetris 99. I love Tetris. It was one of the first videos I ever made on my channel was talking about Tetris, and I love how Tetris 99 takes that classic gameplay and brings that new twist of it being a battle royale. Who would have ever thought that Tetris could be considered in the same genre as Fortnite? But yet here we are. Not that I need a reason to play more Tetris, but if somebody's going to give me a reason to play some more Tetris, hey, I'm going to take it. I really appreciate how quick it is to get into matches and the fact that you don't have to stick around to see who wins. If you lose and you're frustrated, you can just drop out and be in a new match in like less than a minute. The fact that you can play this game for free with the Switch online service means that I think everybody should give this one a try. It's definitely worth a look. Number 3, Luigi's Mansion 3. I love the Luigi's Mansion series. I think it's one of the perfect ways for people to get into horror. And though Luigi's Mansion 3 isn't nearly as atmospheric as the first Luigi's Mansion, it is a lot of fun to play, especially with the inclusion of the multiplayer. I played through the entirety of this game with my, at the time, 4-year-old son, and it was a blast. There were times where it was maybe a little frustrating just because, of his level of play, but the game offers plenty of options to help make it an enjoyable time, even if you're playing with somebody who doesn't have much of an idea of what they're doing. The game has some really fun bosses, and the hotel as an environment is a fun one to explore. The game has a fun balance of action and puzzle solving that makes it fun for people to watch as well. Number 2, Super Mario Odyssey. One of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario 64, and this game is just that, but better. The fact that there are so many power moons scattered throughout every level means that you are constantly getting rewarded for just playing the game. The worlds in the game are all very different from each other, giving off different feels and platforming opportunities, as well as a variety of bosses that are fun to tackle in different ways. The platforming is spot on. You always feel like you're in complete control of Mario, and some of the new moves that he has in this game, specifically ones that use Cappy to help him jump further than ever, are super satisfying when you pull them off. It's rare that there are moments in a Mario game that are truly surprising, but this game pulls it off a handful of times. If you haven't had the chance to play this one yet, I highly recommend doing it. It's just a game that feels good to play, and I always found myself walking away with a smile after every play session. Which of course means that my number 1 Nintendo Switch game is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It's hard to think of new things to say about Breath of the Wild because people have been talking about it nonstop since the game came out. It completely transformed the way that people look at open world games. The lack of things on the screen to distract you from the sheer adventure that you're on, the openness to tackle the big objectives at any point in any order that you want, or the ability to go and fight the final boss just moments after getting off of the tutorial space are all things that make this game so special. Sure, the game isn't perfect, with people having differing opinions on the fact that your weapons can be destroyed, and some of the English voice acting isn't the best. None of those things come close to tarnishing the experience for me at all. When I talked about Pokemon Arceus making you want to just say, oh, only 5 more minutes for 2 hours, this game will make you do that for about 6. You see something on the horizon, you decide you want to go check it out, so you go to check it out, but you pick up 5 other things that you want to do on your way there, and so you got to make sure and do those before you stop playing, otherwise you might forget, and then all of a sudden the sun is coming up. Though I do miss the inclusion of actual dungeons in the game, that also is not enough for me to knock this game down at all. Having completed this game fully at least 3 times at this point, I can easily say that it holds up through more than one playthrough. And it's really fun that each one of those playthroughs is completely different from the last. For me personally, if the Nintendo Switch only existed so that way I could play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, it would be worth it. And that's why it's my #1 game to have come out on the Switch. What's your favorite game that you've played on the Switch? Or what is a game that looks fun and makes you want to try out the Switch if you haven't yet? These last 5 years have flown by, and I'm sure the next 5 will as well. And if the Nintendo Switch can put out games half as good as these in that amount of time, I'd say we're in for some fun gaming in the years to come. Thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Take care.